What's up? It's your girl Mo. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to have you here. As you have seen in the title, I am going to tell you about my experience with diabetes. So about 3 months ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes and hypertension. I know. I was like, how? Why? When did this happen? So in July, I go for a random, checkup in Hosi. My knees were really bad, and I was feeling, hey, I need to go to get this checked out. So I go get my sugar tested, and the nurse tells me, "Iko juu kiasi." Guys, it was at 26. So I may think 26 is juu kiasi because it probably should be at 20. Nah, kumbe normal is, as you can see, yeah. And so the doctor says me I'm probably diabetic, asks me a couple of questions, and then she gives me meds. She gives me a saline solution, keeps me in hospital for about an hour. My sugar comes nicely to about like a 12. And then she tells me next week, come see a physician. Me, I go home. The very next Saturday, we're going to take baby to hospital at Gertrude's in Sarit Center. And when we are there, I have a pounding headache and the worst case of nausea I have ever had. Now, I was not pregnant, so let's all just calm down, okay? I was not pregnant. So I asked the person, the lady who's attending to our baby, where can I go to the loo? And she shows me, and then and just before I go, the nausea sort of subsides, and then she primers my blood pressure. It was high, like I think I was at a 140 over 119 or something like that. Quickly, sisi how are upstairs hapo Sarit. I got the need Pimwad saline solution again. My husband had to take our baby back home so that he can come back and now just we get to figure out what's going on. The doctor said, at this rate, I'ma have to admit you. Me, I was like, no, can you just get everything under control? So we stayed for about 2 hours, got 2 saline solutions, like standard and historia drip, fast and in a hurry. Everything is happening so fast. And by about 7 p.m., he says, well, your sugar has dropped, but I'm going to have to admit you. So he says, choose a hospital that you guys want to go to. So quick, fast, and in a hurry, we choose Avenue Hospital. They call, a few calls are made, and it is settled. We're going to Avenue Hospital. I get admitted. I stayed in Avenue for about 5 days. And I had some very good and some very bad experiences. Some of the worst, I think, was when the nurse came and cleaned my room with dirty water and left it smelling not so good or fresh. I complained. I was like, yeah, she's gonna come and do a better job, yeah. And the best part was getting very good care from the nurses and being in a sort of semi-private room. I'll share that with you guys in another video. When I look back at everything that happened, these are some of the signs I ignored. I was thirsty like all the time. I was taking a lot of water. I was urinating very much, what they call polyuria. I was always hungry. Yani mimi nilikuwa tu nasikia njaa all the time. I was very hungry. I had some pounding headaches, once in a while. Sometimes I'd have nausea, but then it would subside. And then I'd had, in the last couple of months, I'd had blood visions. I'd even gone to see a doctor and gotten me some glasses sometime in May. And then I had balance issues. Sometimes I'd wake up or I'd stand up and I had to be like, whoa, everything is spinning, let's pause. Yeah, I was also feeling really heavy. My knees were bad, and I had the one that just told me that I needed to go get checked out. I had numbing in my appendages, like my index finger and my toes were very numb. The thing about ignoring these signs was that I didn't understand what they meant or what my body was telling me. So by the time even they were continued, by the time I was going to get checked out, I had not felt a difference because I'd lived with them for a period of time. So in an Avenue, just before I got released, I got my meds, which was insulin, 2 kinds of insulin, the meds, normal meds that people take, metformin and everything. I was taught how to pima my sugar, the pricking and everything, and generally just taught how to manage my condition. A nutritionist came and we ran through what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what I should take and what I shouldn't take. Me, I was coming home, I'm like, I'm ready, let's do this. By then my sugar had really dropped to about a 6 or a 6 and a 7, so I was excited, let's do this. 2 weeks later, I meet with a friend of mine from Nairobi Baptist Church, and he tells me how in his family they've had diabetes and how he encourages me to try the keto diet. So I'm like, keto who now? I'm seeing those things on Facebook, like keto diet is so easy, and I look at those pictures and the foods, I'm like, who is gonna afford that? So he tells me how it's worked for a couple of members in his family. So I do my due diligence. One, I go to Google and research and find out. I go to YouTube and look at all these things. I just comb the streets for information about keto diet, because it's not about going to a diet of things that are not sustainable or working. So I get information and I'm like, okay. So what we are trying to do is reduce the carbs or have no carbs at all, so that we can sort of take away the sugar from the system. Cool. I go to my doctor when I'm having my next checkup. I tell him, look, this is what I'm thinking. I want to not do carbs for a period of time, just to get my pancreas to relax and just chill, and then also get my low sugar, because I realized I didn't want to be on insulin shots all my life. Like I was, yeah, like that's not something I wanted. And so I talked to my doctor about it, and he told me, and he told me, let's try it and let's see how it goes. So I was not on a strict keto diet. I want to point that out, because what I did was just remove all the carbs and continue with my proteins and lean meats and avocados and everything, which was exciting. I told the people around me, I was like, yes, let's do keto. It was very strange to not do gali or bread or rice. Like, what do you do when you're not eating ugali, bread, rice, spaghetti, you're not having oats, even vitu okuli? What do? Like, I was trying to get into the keto diet, and it was very interesting, because I found very interesting vegetable options, cheap ones at that. I mean, because then if you go strict keto diets, as what many people have done, I didn't want that. It would be very, very expensive for me. I was not about to start eating salmon and to do mackerel and to do agadoe. So I had just what was affordable to me: vegetables from the Wangige market and kawaida beans and nini and lentils, because I was just trying to reduce on my carbs. And that went great. And it was hard at first, because I was like, now everywhere you go, for example, food is served in a giant portion of carbohydrates, kidogo protein, and vegetables at sikoko, not kinango. And it was very interesting or challenging, actually, just to be able to eat in those places, because at home now I had to pre-plan my meals, because if you don't plan, like for example, if you don't plan what you're going to have for breakfast, what's going to happen is that you're going to end up having carbs, which I didn't want. So I had to pre-plan my meals and think, what am I going to have on this day? What am I going to have on this day? And later, when I went for my checkup, my doctor was impressed. He was like, okay, that is working. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep doing that. And my pancreas was taking a serious break. I imagine my pancreas was on a little holiday, dancing salsa and sipping on tea somewhere in Maui, and just enjoying itself. And I kept going and going and going. And that was an interesting space in my life, because my mom was like, hey, hapana, utakupataje energy nini nini. Of course, moms, the caring part and everything. And it was challenging to the point where it was easier to just have carbs, but I knew what goal I wanted, and I'd stopped taking the insulin shots. So I knew the goal that I wanted, and I could see it coming true and coming and happening, and I was so excited. In September of 2021, I went for my 3rd-month checkup. I'm doing well. Ah, ah, I'm excited about that. I'm doing well. My sugar usually ranges between 4.7 to 6.5. My blood pressure is still a bit stubborn, but it's normalizing, where everything is under control. And so far, so good. Most problems now with the thirst, with the hunger, with the headaches and the nausea, they are gone, because my blood sugar has normalized. What was interesting, for example, about my vision was that those first days when my sugar was normalizing, when I came from when I was in hospital, and when I came from Hosi, I'd wake up and everything was just blurred. Like I couldn't see nothing. Like you can see that those are trees, because it's greenish and whitish and everything, but you can't see like exact things. What are those? And the doctor had told me that your vision is going to be sort of blurring and clearing as you normalize your sugar. Now my vision is mwah. I don't even think I need this. But, it's important to wear them, because they make me feel some type of way. Yeah, it has been my experience with diabetes, just finding out and how I went through the paces. We are now at about 3 months. I'm gonna keep updating you on what I am up to and how everything is going. This has just been an exciting or interesting part of my journey. I've received so much support from my family and my friends, and I'm so excited about just getting better and feeling better. And for those who are wondering how I lost so much weight after getting Tendai, this is the answer. This This is the answer. Why am I telling you this story? Because if you don't get checked out, then you don't know. Something could be hurting you and you don't know. You know, like you could have a condition and you don't know because you haven't gotten checked out. So go get checked out for that thing that you're feeling wrong here, this here, the other there, this is aching, this is paining. Go get it checked out. If I'd gotten my gestational diabetes checked out when I was having tendai, I probably wouldn't be here. So go get checked out. Have like an annual checkup. Go for that thing that's paining or that is hurting you. You never know, you could be saving your life. Imagine, you could be saving your life. This is your girl Mo. Yeah.